Hey, look at this. We're all ready to go. My name is Chesley, and this is Karen, and you know what it is. What is it, Chesley? It's story time, Bible story time with Chesley and Karen, and we are with Wholesome Communication. Wholesome communication. Always good, always true, always makes you happy. Alright, it's good, happy things because it's taken from God's holy word. God's holy word. Alright, we want you to come to our Sunday school and learn about Jesus and follow his rule. Bring your grandma and your grandpa, your mom, your dad, your sisters, and your other, bring your one. Well, Chesley, we've already had Sunday school today. Oh, well, this is for next time. Okay, it's for next time. All right, Chesley, today our Bible story is going to be about two guys that did good work, and one of them, he was just lazy. He was just lazy. That's right. So we're going to talk about a time that these two workers, or actually, let's say about their man they worked for. He was the boss man. All right, he was the boss man. He was the leader. He was the owner, and he was going on a long trip. And so, what's going to happen to his things? Well, he's got these employees here. His workers, and he's going to give his money to them. No, I wouldn't do that. He's going to need it when he comes back. Well, he's not giving it to them to keep, but they're going to be working for him. They're going to be earning money. They're going to be trading, and they're going to be trading, investing. They're going to just be working and doing with this money what the master would want them to do. And that's what the boss man is. Yes, he is the master. They were slaves. And so what he did, he said, I know these fellas. They've been working for me a long time. And he knew who would work and who was lazy. And that's right. He knew who was the best workers, and he knew the ones he couldn't give very much to. He couldn't trust them with very much. And so what he did was, he said to this man, he said, here, I'm giving you 5 talents. And so, what was he could sing, he could play a harp, he could, no, Jesse. What we're talking about in back in the Bible times, they called them money talents. So he's going to give you some dollars. Yeah, I'm going to give him some money. It was like we would say dollars. And so he gave him this money, and I mean, it was a large amount of money to give 5 talents to. A lot of money, and he said, here, take this money, and I want you to invest this, you work with it, you do what you can, you find a way. But he had to be honest. Oh yes, he wanted to find a good way that he could do all that he could with that money. And when I come back, he said, I'll see how well you've done. And then what about the next guy? Did he get 5 or did he get 10? No, he got 2 because he wasn't as good. No, Chesley, sometimes, different people have different, we would say, abilities to do things. And he knew this man, if I gave him 5 talents, he might not really be able to handle that. It would be a hardship for him. And so he gave him how many? He gave him 2. He said, this man can handle this much money. I know, I've seen his work. He's very faithful, just like the other man. So I'm going to give him 2 talents. And these are, let's just call it, for the sake of just our story today, let's call it thousands of dollars. So he gave him $2,000, and he said here, and so the man took it, and he immediately was thinking what he could do. Both of those fellows was thinking what they could do. And they was going to be good workers. Oh, they were going to be good workers. They was thinking, I've got to be faithful to the master. But then he saw this one man, and he really wasn't a very good worker. We say they're not diligent. I think he was just lazy. I like lazy. Well, okay, if you want to use the word lazy, but he just never did really apply himself and really work. And I think he was just lazy. Just call him lazy. Just say what it is. Okay, Chesley. All right. In the Bible, it calls him being slothful. I say plain old lazy. Okay. So what he did, he knew this man, really you couldn't depend on him. If he gave him $1,000, he knew it was almost going to be wasted. What you need? Well, he just wasn't very busy. And see, when I'm telling you, he's lazy. Oh, okay. So what happened? He said, now, fellas, I'm leaving and I'm going on this trip. And he said, when I get back, then I'm going to see how well you have done. And he probably said, fellas, you're going to do a good job. I know I can depend on you. And he looked at the other guy and he said, you want your... No, Bible didn't say he said that. Anyway, he said, I will be back. They didn't know when he was going to... I think he needs to call him. Well, Chesley, they didn't have telephones then. So what happened, though, the time was gone. He left. He was on his trip. But I'll tell you what, those 2 fellas, The one with the 5 talents and one with 2, 5,000, 2,000. Oh, here they was they doing this, working away. What did they do? I don't know what their particular jobs were. The Bible doesn't say, but they were very busy. They were what we call being industrious, diligent. They found good ways to trade and to help increase this money. And so, you know what? I think they was looking forward to him coming back. They were probably looking forward and thinking, I've got to take good care of this money. And they saw how that the money, they was making money for the master, and they were really excited for him to come back because they had done a good job and they knew it was what he wanted. You know what I think about this guy? I think he must have been pretty generous. I think he sounds like a generous man to me, that he would trust somebody with as much money as he did. So he knew he could count on those fellas. I don't think he was worrying about it. No, I think he knew they was going to get it. Did he call in and check on? Oh, we didn't have no phone. That's right, he didn't have a phone. He could have texted. They didn't have the internet, and so he just had to think about what they were going to do. He thought, I remember from the past, they've always done a good job. I have no reason to think they won't. You know what? I think that there's a reason they don't have to. What do you mean there's a reason they don't have to? Well, he isn't there to see what they're doing. Oh, well, I know he's not there to see what they're doing, but it didn't matter to them whether he was there or not. They did the right thing because that was the right thing to do. They knew it wasn't their money, was it? It wasn't their money. It belonged to him. He gave it to them. Oh, he didn't give it to them to keep. It wasn't their money to keep. It was their money to take care of. In other words, he trusted them. That word trust, that's an important thing. If somebody can trust us, to be faithful and do the right thing. To be faithful, try to do the right thing, even when they're not looking. When no one is looking. Well, so we had a fellow over here, and he had this one. And what did he do? What's he doing over there? I see what he's doing. What is he doing over there? In your imagination, what is he doing? Well, no, you already told me the story. Okay, I told you the story. So he's over there digging in the ground. I think he's crazy. Oh, Chesley, just a minute. You know what? If he had the strength to dig, then he had the strength to make some money. Oh, right, that's right. He did have the strength to go over there. And he got, I really think, the longer that he dug, the madder he got. I think he's a big old cheater. You know what? I know you can't please this guy. Yeah, I tell you what. He's up to something. Why'd he go? Oh, no telling what he thought. And I think my imagination is running away. Yes, I think your imagination is running away. But remember, you are pulling the strings. Chesley. Now, let's go on with our story. Well, the time came that here came the master back. And here come those 2 guys, and they were so excited. Oh, they said, here you are, master. Well, the master said, all right, here you. That's all 3 of you come in, and let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we find out, what has happened here. Oh, I tell you what, I had a great time. And they probably said, you had a good time. Everything has a good thing going great. Are you going back? No. They probably exchanged those kind of pleasantries, and so we hope you had a nice trip. Glad to have you back. But they were excited because they had done their job. And so they said, here it is, master. As he said to the first man, I gave you 5 talents, $5,000. And so what? He said, well, master, he said, I went out there and I worked hard. And he said, I was able to meet some business acquaintances of yours, and said, we've traded, and said, I have doubled what you've given me. Double? Oh, that is just great. That's exactly what the master said. I'm so happy with you. You've done a great job. And he said, well, I said, and so I'm blessing you. And he just encouraged him and blessed him, and he gave him even more. And oh my, he was so proud of this man. He had done even far and above what he would have thought. And the other fellow came in, and he said to him, it's your turn now. How did things go for you? And he was so happy. He said, master, you know what? I doubled it. The master said, I knew I could count on you. He said, greater things are happening for you now. I'm giving you a promotion. And just what he said to the other guy in different words. Yeah, in different words. He said, you get a promotion here. You've done great. I'm just so happy with you. And they were just loving, and we'd say the word basking. If it was in a basket, no, they weren't in a basket. They were basking, were rejoicing and happy that they had pleased the master. And you know how they pleased him? I do, because he did the right thing. They did the right thing. It wasn't that they didn't know what to do, because the master gave them instructions. And then he looked over. He said, all right, sir, I gave you 1 talent, $1,000. I gave you this money. Now what have you done with it? I think he said, well, you know what? I can't. You know what? You're just so hard. You can't please you for nothing. Oh, he was saying things like, you can't be pleased. I knew how you are. And I've never been able to please you, so I just tell you what. Did he go stand it? No. Remember what you saw him doing? Digging in the ground. That's what he did. Well, he said, I went and buried it. He buried it. Well, what good did it do buried? He was just gonna rot away. Well, it would rot away in time. And he said to the master, I know how you are. And he blamed him and accused him. He said awful things. And the master said, in so many words, he said, I knew I couldn't count on you. I knew you wouldn't. But I wanted to give you an opportunity. I knew your past. But I was willing to look beyond that and give you an opportunity. And he wasted it. He wasted it. And the master had wanted to help him. He couldn't give him as much as he gave the others because he wouldn't do anything. I told you the guy's lazy. Okay. And so he was lazy. He didn't do his work. And so he said, well, there's no way I can honor you. There's no way you get a promotion. He fired him. He fired him. In so many words, that's what he did. Because he couldn't use him. He wasn't faithful. You can't have an employee around that's not faithful. Especially when he's with your nutty. Oh, yes, money. We need to be careful with our own money and with others. And the thing of it is, Chesley, whether anybody sees us or not, if they're coming back or not, we want to be faithful. Is Jesus coming back? Jesus is coming back, and he's left us here to be faithful and do. Did he give us money? No, we're not. Well, we all make some money, and we need to use it wisely. But we all have talents and abilities. Now, our talents we talk about are abilities and things that we can do. Those things, but also our money. We want to use it to honor the Lord. Always do the right thing. In other words, don't cheat. And that's it. Don't cheat. And don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. We want to be faithful every day. And Chesley, there comes a time then there'll be one day that we'll see the Lord. We'll see him. And if we've done the right thing and we're happy that we have and we rejoice and we're thankful that he was faithful and kind to us and trusted us. And we want him to be able to trust us. We trust him, and it just works that way. It's happiness. It sounds like a circle of love. A circle of love. And that day will come when he says, enter in to heaven. You get to live with me forever and ever. But Chesley, here, all things come to an end. Oh, yeah? I know what you're getting at. You're going to stick me in that trunk. That's right. It has come time for you to go to bed. So you tell everybody goodbye, and you'll see them next Sunday afternoon, the Lord willing. I'll be here, and I'll tell you in the meantime, I'm going to be fighting that nasty termite. No, you're not fighting any termites. No termites there. It's what you think. There's a termite in that trunk. No, there's not. Good night, Chesley. You're going to bed, okay? You're going to bed. I'm going to bed. That's all I hear. You're going to bed. You're going to bed. Yes, Chesley, you are going to bed. Good night. We'll see you next Sunday. That's only 7 days away. You got it, Chesley? 7 days away.